Verse News and Super Dirt are speculative ad-lib parody news podcasts. Verse News, Super Dirt, and its affiliates and sponsors claim no rights or liability to licenses, trademarks, and copyright of characters mentioned. Such characters are used under the fair use laws as a parody and speculative newscast. Verse News, Super Dirt, its parent company, sponsors, and affiliates do not claim responsibility for content made and is purely for the entertainment of its audiences. Super Dirt, Verse News, and its parent companies, affiliates, and sponsors advise listeners to absorb content with caution and claims no liability for damage caused by its listeners. Discretion is advised.
Bobby Baxt here for Super Dirt. You can find us on all of our social media at Super Dirt HQ. And if you want to submit something that you've seen out there in Superland, go to superdirtnews.com and submit it. Or you can always go to Super Dirt HQ and be a part of the movement. All you dirtbags out there, get up and revolt against... No, don't revolt. Just give us the dirt on the supers.
Welcome back to Verse News. I'm Rick Rogers here with Mike McNosian on the main desk. When you want news across the verse, trust Verse News to bring you the objective point of view. Turning to Mike for our top story. Mike, what do you have for us?
Our top story tonight takes us to hunker down mode. The Earth One Alliance has made the official announcement they are refusing to pay the ransom Sinister submitted, telling him to do their worst. Looks like they're trying to call out his bluff, Rick.
I hope it is a bluff, Mike.
Sinister has yet to comment or make any further demands. We'll always bring you more on this story as it develops. For now, we'll just hand it over to traffic. Marty?
Thanks for the handoff, Mike. It appears Black Mask has assembled his army of henchmen across the intersection of Sepulveda and Hollywood Boulevard. Not sure what he's doing on the West Coast, but he sure didn't come alone. While police have been called out onto the scene, they seem reluctant to show up. Or maybe they've been paid not to. Who's to say? What's this? It looks like the henchmen have blocked every route to the major studios. That's going to delay work for the celebrities. I feel kind of bad for them. They're sitting in their trailers, eating the craft services, pretending to be someone else until at least there's danger, then they can call in a stunt double. Man, it's a rough life. Well, that's all I see from way up here. I'm Marty Maxwell. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Marty. You're always looking out for us. We're receiving reports of a prison break involving Dumbledore and Deadpool. Both were being held awaiting arraignment when they apparently partnered up to escape. No one knows where the two are hiding now, or if they are still together, but authorities are asking for any information that may lead to their recapture. Dumbledore was being held for charges of possible trafficking of house elves, while Deadpool was being held for the rampage on the I-970 he executed last week. No supers or wizards have been willing to comment on the charges. And now for the weather, brought to you by D-Work.
It's hard to find good help these days. We all know it's true, especially when you need help right away. You wouldn't make any money if your henchmen were all on the payroll sitting around doing nothing. What's a villain to do? Add your profile and tasks to D-Works. We're making it quick and easy to find the henchmen you need on a budget. D-Works! When you need to find henchmen now!
D-Works is not a real app. D-Works bears no responsibility for anyone harmed while performing work through the app. D-Works makes no claims as to the efficacy of the henchmen or their work.
Find your henchmen on D-Works.
Wow, that is quite a new service we've got going on. It's all a trap. We don't know what's going on. I've got no readings, so what I'm gonna say is that it's rainy, it's cold, and for some strange reason it's not spring. And I don't know why, and I'm just scared. I'm so sorry. I can't do weather today.
Well, thank you, Susie. We know we can always trust you as the true source of weather. Our main story tonight, it appears we have some breaking news. The villains are mobilizing across not just Earth One, but the entire Verse Alliance, not only in Hollywood, New York, Tokyo, Paris, London, Egypt, Mumbai, but on planets across the verses in all dimensions.
Yes, Mike, they seem to be gathering and just waiting, making no aggressive moves except to block a little traffic. Our field correspondent, J.K. Reynolds, is en route now. As this event unfolds, stay tuned to Verse News to get the honest perspective.
Thank you for joining us for Verse News. Stay tuned for Super Dirt.
This show is part of the Geek Nerd Network. Find more shows like it at geeknerdnetwork.com. This is Janet.
Welcome to Super Dirt. This is Bobby Baxter talking to you live from, or semi-live from, Super Dirt HQ. We got an amazing show for you today. We got so much dirt out there. The supers are going crazy. Who's on the show today?
The Invisible Man.
Mr. I Am in the house.
Rick Rogers, right? Henry Harrison.
Henry Harrison. You don't even know who you are. That's a beautiful thing. Bo, have you been slipping Henry some stuff?
It's all secondhand.
Who's this over here in the corner?
Kenny Cassidy coming to you live.
Kenny Cassidy. Come with the truth. You can't handle the truth, but Kenny's going to give it to you anyway. Who's up there on the screen?
Val Killery from an undisclosed location.
Welcome back, Val.
Val Killery, undisclosed location. She's a little bit paranoid, but it's all good. Who else is up there?
Oh, Babowski's here.
Welcome, Bo. All right, guys, we got an amazing show today.
Extra, read all about it.
Let's talk about some things that are going on out there right now in this crazy verse. What do you got?
Kermit the Frog, you know him.
Kermit the Frog.
Yeah.
He's a little green fella.
Yeah, he is not happy with the Green Lanterns.
Oh.
What's the headline?
So Kermit the Frog is suing the Green Lantern Corps over Hal Jordan's remarks.
Oh my. What did Hal Jordan say?
So Hal Jordan was rescuing a bystander, right? Because, you know, there's supervillains causing destruction everywhere. And this bystander was not super happy. And Hal let slip, you know, it's not easy being Green Lantern, you know? And so Kermit seems to think that that's close enough to his iconic, it's not easy being green. And it's deciding to sue.
I think we haven't heard from Kermit in so long. He needs some money.
Yeah.
And so he's probably trying to grab it, whatever he can get, right?
I don't know. It sounds pretty plausible.
Think those royalties from Over the Rainbow are drying up.
Drying up. Yeah. I haven't seen anything from Kermit for a long time.
No?
Maybe he's just not taking Manhattan anymore.
He's not taking Manhattan. You killing me, I am. You killing me. What else? What else we got, folks? What else we got out there? Don't everyone speak at the same time, because that would be pandemonium. A pandemonialist. I just made that up.
What do you got, Valerie?
Valerie, why'd you say
Val Killery is the
Valerie
name? Can we get
Val
it right,
Killery.
please, gentlemen? My goodness.
The
There's only
Valster.
two women on the show and you can't even learn their names. I'm very upset at you right now.
Granted, Val Killery does kind of keep it under wraps.
Yeah.
Don't care.
Maybe I'll change my name after a season or two.
What do you got?
What I've heard through the grapevine is that Willy Wonka has been charged by the Ministry of Magic. Now, we don't have a lot of details yet because the Ministry of Magic is, you know, trying to keep a lid on it. They're a super secretive organization, and they're definitely not going to let us muggles know anything about it. But the rumor is that Willy Wonka allowed muggles into his factory where everything is run by magic. And so now they're charging him.
You know, that makes a lot of sense because he did have that, what was it, an invisible flying elevator?
Oh, he had all kinds of weird stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, he has all kinds of magic in there from what it sounds like. And apparently his entire staff of workers are house elves.
Ooh.
Wait a minute. House elves aren't orange.
Ooh, what? But makeup.
Wait,
It's
how?
called makeup.
What? Why would, if you have all the magic in the world, why in the world are you using makeup,
There
Bobby?
can't be different variations of house elves?
Yeah. Who says elves? It can't be whatever color.
I just don't understand how we automatically equate all the magic in the world to wizards. Somebody can't just be,
Magical?
like magical, like Santa Claus. Is
Well,
Santa
he
Claus
does
a
run a
wizard
factory.
too? What about the Easter Bunny?
Maybe he's
He
trying
does
to
run a
help out the
factory,
house
and it
elves.
sounds like he's not operating on exactly ethical terms in his factory. So
Yeah,
maybe
Santa
all
has
of
elves.
his house elves have been poisoned by something that he's putting in the candy,
Oh, and that's turning them whatever color they are.
turning them orange.
Why would you poison your workforce?
You know, I'm really surprised he's still in business after the whole, like, lottery thing and trying to get people to buy all the candy to win. And then whatever happened there in the factory with
The other winners?
That's the problem. That's the problem that they got out on those factories down there. They got to go down south and learn from the factories down south. They got protection gear that they wear down. The cartels, they know what they're doing down south. They wear protective gear
from candy.
Well, they don't want the workers to
because
take part of the product. They keep the product.
They're making a lot of they're making a lot of edibles now, right? For Colorado.
You gotta get the product out the door. You don't want the workers to take too much of the product because then you can't sell it. I mean, it's just simple market. It's simple economics.
So are we saying house elves are sugar happy?
Well,
only the Oompa Loompa ones.
Only the
Oompa Loompa ones.
Maybe that's what an Oompa Loompa is. It's just a house elf with a sugar addiction.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's what
maybe they all got diabetes.
That's it.
I don't know. I still like to think that people can just be magical, and it doesn't mean that they're a wizard.
Yeah,
well, I got some pills that make you feel magical.
They don't have an alliance, is all.
Maybe Willy Wonka's just hiding the house elves with the Willy,
Once they all unite and create a union,
Bobby!
They'll be having some.
I couldn't help it. All right. Hey, I got one. Power Rangers fraud is the Power Rangers fraud. So come to find out, Power Rangers are not real in the United States. They do not exist.
But they're real in Japan.
Okay, I'm getting there.
Okay.
See, here's the thing.
Yeah.
See, the thing is that the people that pretend to be Power Rangers here in the U.S. are just actors. They are not supers at all.
Well, what about the Megazord?
The Megazord, all of those, none of that ever happens in the U.S.
Oh.
It happens in Japan. And there are they aren't called the Power Rangers, they're somebody else, but they are the real superheroes, and they are only in Japan. And they film footage and pretend that it's in the U.S.
Interesting.
Yes, it is not real. The people that say that they're American, the American red and black and yellow and
the Power Rangers.
Yeah, the Power Ranger people, they are not legitimately superheroes. They are just fakes. Complete fakes.
Interesting.
How did they fake that though?
The footage, all of the fighting footage is recorded and done in Japan.
So what you're saying is no one that any of us would know would have actually seen in real life these American Power Rangers.
Yes, a real Power Ranger doesn't exist.
I always kind
in
of
the U.S.
I always kind of wondered how they spoke up on the moon with there not being any air.
Yeah, and if you notice, sometimes when you see some of the bad, what's her name, the bad lady.
I don't know.
With the weird coney.
Rita.
Yeah. Okay.
She's dubbed.
Rita.
She's dubbed.
Rita.
Her mouth dubbed. She is speaking Japanese.
She's speaking
totally
Japanese.
Yep.
Why would she even be speaking Japanese? I mean, she should be speaking some sort of alien thing.
Oh well, yeah, you do make a good. Okay,
so she's really dubbed into Japanese. Is that what's going on?
Well, you're probably just assuming she's speaking Japanese. She's dubbed. We don't know what she's speaking.
We don't know what she's speaking.
Well, if you look at her mouth, it's moving Japanese language. If you look really hard, you can tell.
So, Bobby, you're telling me that when the unicorn's talking to me, that it's really not talking to me?
It's Japanese.
It's Japanese.
Oh, it's Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's talking Japanese. So I'm talking Japanese to the unicorn?
Maybe you're turning Japanese, Bo.
Oh, man.
Maybe you're turning Japanese.
That's some deep stuff.
That brings up something I've kind of wondered, what is the lineage of Unikitty? Because, she has a unicorn horn, right? Or
yes.
And she's also
she's
a kitty.
Kitten.
I gotta say, this is new news. What the hell is a Unikitty? Is that like a one cat?
It's a cat with a
one
unicorn horn.
No,
Unikitty.
That's not real.
Yeah, it's just like a Pegasus with a unicorn horn. Is called
but it's a cat.
Else. No.
Where is this from? It's not a cat.
It's from Lego, isn't it?
Did you never play Lego?
Did you never play with Lego? Oh, well, those were generically female Legos, y'all.
Oh, they were female Legos.
But,
I haven't tried that stuff yet.
He's never snorted Legos before.
But she has a whole musical rendition in the biopic, the Lego movie.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. I just need to pay more attention. Very good.
Apparently.
What else do we got out there, guys?
We got supers in the dark SMN dungeon.
What supers?
Supers in the dark, in an S&M dungeon.
So they in the dark trying to break up the dungeon, not knowing
Yeah,
what it
yeah,
is,
are
or
they
are
breaking
they
it up?
like in the dungeon?
No, so
in the darkness, so we don't know who they are. Like,
So-
how is this working?
I found out that Wonder Woman, Rogue, Squirrel Girl, and Whirl Girl, and Poison Ivy are all running an SMM club in New York.
And
So you're saying they're all dominatrixes?
Yes.
Yeah. And
That makes sense.
Superman, Green Lantern,
Their biggest...
Batman, and Robin are all clients.
But like, who are their regular clients? I'm so want to know right now.
Oh, how can we... Hey, Mr. I Am, can you get the little black book?
I want to know who the regular John is. I want him on the show, dude.
Well,
It sounds like he might be telling us a story right now.
I mean,
You think, Mr.
Well,
I Am? Yeah, how do you know about this, sir?
Are you a
find out?
client? I am.
no. But
But...
I had to follow Superman because, I mean, I'm still trying to figure out why he won't apologize for all this crap that he's put me through.
Huh?
He made me put on his own suit and burn my britches in a phone booth.
When did this happen?
Wait a minute.
Was that when you were in the phone booth with him that time?
Yeah. He made my...
Oh, so you're having PTSD about this, it seems like.
This is sad. I think you need to let it go, I am. I think you need to let it go.
Are you telling me Superman's bi?
So you followed him to an underground brothel?
Yep.
It's not a brothel.
Oh, it's not a brothel.
No. A dom is not necessarily a prostitute, Bobby. Get it right.
Oh, that right. There may not be sex involved.
There's
Yeah.
no sex involved in the dominatrix.
Never?
dungeon. Never.
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 Gosh, that seems kind of weird.
The club is called Super Lockdown.
Super locked in.
Lockdown.
Super lockdown. Super locked in. Super locked down. It's
Either
all...
way, it's kind of interesting.
Well, I think I need to know a little bit more.
So
I need to understand the whole world because I guess I assumed it was some kind of sex thing, but you're saying no.
Well, it is, but it doesn't involve the actual act. It's more of foreplay.
But, I mean, wouldn't they have to have, like, you know, those Himalayan salt candles? Wouldn't they have to have that with kryptonite? Or, I mean, how would Superman get anything out of that?
Yeah, how you gonna abuse
Well,
Superman?
I don't know how you're gonna abuse Superman.
Like,
I'm
emotionally?
just telling you what a dominatrix does.
Well,
she's
you could-
going.
his
You could tie
favorite.
a little bit of
I think
kryptonite
Bo.
into the whip and smack him with that. You could tie a little bit of kryptonite into the whip and smack him with that. I mean, come on, there's ways.
That makes sense.
Ways you could do that.
Yeah, I see that.
So all these big,
use
strong,
your
powerful
imagination,
men
dude.
want to be subjugated and made the submissives?
I mean, don't you think? I mean, wouldn't it be? I mean, if you were Superman, super ultra powerful, don't you think it would be nice to kind of be weak every once in a while?
Get whipped by Wonder Woman.
Gosh, I mean, when you say it like that, it actually sounds
Tied up
pretty
and made to be
interesting.
told the
I'm just
truth.
saying.
Superman has a particular fondness for Squirrel Girl.
Is it the tail?
Sounds like you've been hanging out there a little bit longer than we originally thought. He's down there taking notes for like 4 hours. Wow. I can't believe you can do that to another human being.
I'm beginning to think you would like to be as submissive I am.
Oh my gosh, that would be cool. An invisible dominatrix. Oh, that would be cool. Because you don't know what's coming. You have no idea. I think there's some money in that for an invisible woman. So anyway, if you're interested out there, if you're an invisible woman.
Leave it to Bobby.
I mean, the thing that everybody likes the most about Rogue is she taps on them and uses their powers against them.
Oh, very good.
So they're doing very bad things with their powers for very kinky reasons in this dungeon of dominatrix.
Yeah.
All right, what else do we got out there? We beating that with a dead horse. Okay, no pun intended.
Speaking of dead horses.
Where in the verse is Babowski?
Hello? Hello? Where's that? Is that Jameson? Jameson, are you there?
Oh my gosh. Dude, you're fired.
Jameson?
You're fired. Get out of here. Get out of here, Bo.
That is the headline.
Bo?
Bo gets
Bobby, is
fired
that
from
you?
Super Dirt.
Bobby.
Just
I
surprised
can't
it took this
believe
long.
it.
Are you
Is that you, Bobby?
Are you he's a double agent, isn't he? He thought he was talking to Doofus.
To Jameson?
Yeah,
Bobby.
that guy.
Well,
Are
that's
you
a
a double
headline.
agent,
I
Bo?
can't believe it. I can't believe it.
You
Your
caught
check bounced.
the
Bobby,
who?
your check bounced. You wrote me that check. You got me all the way out here to Morocco, tracking down this juicing ring. Can you believe that Spider-Man and the Penguin, they were just small-time players. I caught up with them in the alleyway. They were selling a few bricks here and there, but they got nothing. So I tracked down this guy. I'm out here in Morocco. Do you hear the music in the background? I got
Is that
Morocco.
what that is? Moroccan music?
background.
Oh, boy.
I'll send you another check.
He probably
Did we
can't get
lose him?
home, Bobby.
Did we lose him?
I think we lost him.
We lost you. You're in mute town. We can't hear you.
Your
Maybe
signal
you
is
got
weak,
kidnapped
Bo.
by a loan shark because you had to take out a loan because your check didn't come through.
My gosh, Bobby.
Hey, did you have a
Popeye's
story?
running this thing.
Oh.
Popeye's running this thing. Popeye's got a gig where he's sticking the juice into the spinach and he's shipping it out of Morocco through India.
And they're
guess
smoking
what?
the spinach.
Guess what? Guess what's
Smoking
in
it or eating it?
They smoke it, they shoot it, they cook it, they shoot it. They got all kinds of ways of doing it. It's good stuff, actually. I mean,
So basically, Bo, you're saying don't buy the spinach.
don't buy this. Well,
I think
unless
he's
you're
saying
into
don't
that kind
buy
of
any
stuff.
kind of weed.
I mean, if you're into that stuff, I mean, then you can do it. But I mean,
So what's the underlying? So Popeye. What else?
Well, he can't make it any
what were we
further than
talking
that,
about?
Bobby. You
No, he's
Well,
stranded
I-
him in Morocco.
I know
I
he's got
I got a loan from Jameson, which you're gonna have to pay back, Bobby. I don't know how you're gonna pay that back, but so I'm headed out to India, and I got this line on a brothel in India. Guess who runs it? You're not gonna believe this. Minnie Mouse runs the brothel in India. So I'm gonna swing by there. I got a couple of extra cases of spinach. I'm gonna go hook up and see what we got down there. See what's going on down there.
What is it with these rodents? Squirrel Girl, Minnie Mouse?
Like, wow.
I don't know.
It's interesting. I mean, it's something different.
It's time to rewind for old dirt.
All right. What
Okay.
about old news?
Well, I've got a follow up on a story.
Okay.
So, a little while ago, I reported that there was the rumor going around that the Queen of England is actually a creation of the Reality Stone, and that Thanos had created her with the Reality Stone in order to control the wealth of the United Kingdom, because, the Queen herself is worth something like $500 million. Well, so now the news is coming out of the United Kingdom that has been confirmed. The Queen actually died several years ago, and the Queen that we see on TV now is actually the creation of the Reality Stone.
Wait, so she wouldn't officially have the authority to rule then, right?
'Cause
That's
she's
the
not
issue.
her.
There's now a massive leadership crisis in the United Kingdom, to the point where Parliament has been reconvened, even in the midst of the hunker down, to try to figure out who is actually in charge of the country and what in the world is going on with
Wait
the
a
royal
minute.
family.
Have they even figured out Brexit yet? Like, how can they handle this?
Wait a minute. She's just a figurehead. She doesn't have any power. I mean, she doesn't do anything. Come on.
Isn't that the Prime Minister's job?
Yeah, I mean I mean, she's just a figurehead. I've always had a problem with this royalty thing in England. Right now, they're just born a person and they're super famous and they have no real power. They don't have any power.
but they
in the
control-
country.
but Bobby, they control a
Parliament
lot of the
cannot
wealth.
convene without the queen's presence with her staff, technically.
But then if there is no real queen right now...
Then how do they convene?
Well, they don't know that she's not real. We're breaking this, right? Val, you...
We are breaking this right now, and so this is something that's being discussed right now, and Prime Minister Brian Braddock is trying to figure all of these things out. But as you know, Prime Minister Brian Braddock was elected based on his popularity as his Captain Britain superhero alias. And everybody thought, of course, Captain Britain is going to lead us through Brexit and, the whole debacle of leaving the One Earth Alliance. But as this whole, Brexit thing progresses, and now this leadership crisis with the Queen and not being able to reconvene Parliament and all these things, his polling is showing that it's kind of tanking. So the people of the United Kingdom are not impressed with his leadership right now.
Is he playing cricket too much,
it's a whole political
or what?
debacle that we're going to be following up on in the United Kingdom.
I think it's all the stuff that just came down during his poor, time in office, like Brexit and now this Queen thing. Like, I think he's had a run of bad luck. Or is he just that big of a buffoon?
Well, he also hasn't been handling the hunker down situation very well. He was going to just let people go out to work and deal with whatever the crisis is.
That was their original plan. Right?
Well, I think
that was their original plan.
If you were
he got affected by it, and went to the hospital, and now now he's actually taking it seriously. Yes.
So Super has ended up.
A Super has been affected by it. Captain Britain himself ended up in the hospital with this whole crisis. Yeah.
Interesting.
Dangerous out there, people. Wash your hands.
So what's so is that it? Is that it of the story? I have a feeling that you've dug deeper.
It is
I know
not it. It is not it. So what I previously reported is that the rumors were that Thanos was working with our very own Lex Luthor, and Lex Luthor got greedy in this whole money laundering scheme that he and Thanos were running, and ended up getting elected to the presidency because he got in over his head. Well, now here in the U.S., members of Congress are convening an investigative committee to try to figure out how this has all affected our own elections and how it's spread across the pond. And now there's even rumors swirling that Betty White is a creation of the Reality Stone.
Whoa.
Betty White is a tour de force. How in the world does that happen?
Oh, you're saying she's fake. How long
A creation
is
of
she,
the
I
Reality
can't
Stone.
believe that she's fake.
How long has she been a creation? I mean, did she pass away sometime?
We don't know. We don't know if she was created whole scale from the Reality Stone or anything like it. There's a lot to investigate.
You're saying that
still.
Betty
We
White...
don't know how long the Queen has been dead.
You're saying that Betty White, since the Queen was a pre-existing person, Betty White could be a creation from Thanos' imagination?
It's
Even
possible.
back when she
Why
was
would
on the
he-
Mary Tyler Moore show? I mean, dude, she's been around forever.
Yeah.
But
Why would
it's the
he make
Reality
such a
Stone.
pivotal
Maybe we're
female
just all
character?
thinking that we remember her on the Mary Tyler Moore show.
Oh my gosh, this is deep. Oh, Val, you always bring it to us. This is deep stuff. I don't even know where to go from here. Do you have any more? Is there, or are you still digging?
I'm still digging, Bobby, but that's just my contribution to blowing your minds and opening your eyes today.
Oh, the Betty White thing. That's huge. That's huge. Okay, folks.
I feel violated somehow.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel right, does it? I mean, to think that she's not real, it tears a fabric in the universe, kind of.
It really kind
What's
of
even reality anymore?
Yeah, you've just made me think.
Hence the Reality Stone.
Do you have any idea what time it is?
All you dirtbags out there, give us the dirt on the super! Hey, you dirtbags! Give it to us straight. It looks like I have one. Did you get any?
Well, first, we want to say that if you want to submit a story, visit our Facebook page at SuperDirtHQ or our website at superdirtnews.com.
Superdirtnews.com. Okay, so this from Chad.
Where's Chad from, Bobby?
Chad is from...
Facebook land?
Yeah, Facebook land. He says, and this is interesting, nation crumbles as... This is interesting because maybe that was one of the last ones. Nation crumbles as Superman suffers from lack of phone booths.
He has nowhere to change.
Yes. Maybe that phone booth was like his only, because I don't know how you found a phone booth.
I was
It was
questioning
one
the
of a
same
million.
thing.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
Does he get cited for indecent exposure every time he changes now?
He's too fast.
Yeah, if he's really fast, who cares? But he's
Yeah,
not.
but he needs a place to leave his stuff.
Yeah.
And the phone booth is.
And the phone booth is the place, I guess. Interesting. But is it just America that crumbles? Because there are phone booths almost everywhere else. And in Europe, there is also, the porta potties in the middle of the street that you can change in.
Don't you think it'd be a better idea? Why didn't he just jump over a building with a single bound and land on top and put his crap up on the top of the building?
I thought he was up. I thought they were mad at him for jumping over top of buildings.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just worried that somebody would see him and then somebody would know who his alter ego is.
Up on the top of the building?
Well, as he jumps, if he jumps in his regular clothes.
Yeah.
Then he's flying in his regular clothes.
He's
then
got so much more problems with his stupid underground dominatrix ring, and he's got that porno problem that we heard about last week.
It sounds like the porno
Superman.
problem and the dominatrix thing is probably
it makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot more sense now.
It does make a lot of sense now.
So here's the question. Is the nation crumbling because Superman doesn't have phone booths to change in, or is the nation crumbling because Superman is a sex addict?
And he hasn't gotten any help with that addiction. It sounds like he's knee-deep in, man.
Sounds like he needs some treatment.
Yes. Who
Where would you go for treatment for that?
Rehab?
Sex treatment? Sexual addiction?
I guess it would be regular rehab, right? They have groups and stuff. But, how do you show up to a group of Superman? You're like, hi, I'm a sex addict, and this is supposed to be Sex Addicts Anonymous.
Yeah, that's a good question.
How do you do that?
Maybe he's already doing it.
Hang your cape over there at the, hi, my name's Superman. I'm an addict.
It's not anonymous now, is it?
That is an interesting, that's an interesting thought. But maybe he could go as his other persona.
Maybe he's getting help from Dr. Bong.
Dr. Bong? Who's Dr. Bong?
Bong?
Who's Dr. Bong?
What?
That sounds like somebody that Bo hangs out with.
Yeah, he's a buddy of mine. We hang out on weekends.
Dear heavens. Okay, focus.
Do we got
Rein
any,
it in.
Do we got any other dirtbag news out there? As we hopefully will start to get more and more dirtbags out there giving us some news.
I hope so, eventually. I have no idea.
Yeah, because left up to our own devices, we come up with some
we're using
scary stuff.
Yeah, we're using the World Wide Web and all that beautiful things to get stories.
Keep us on the straight.
We may have a good story. Oh, darn it! You got me all excited. Why'd you do that? Kenny had this crazy face looking like, oh my gosh, I got the greatest story since sliced bread. And then she shakes her head, no.
I have to go investigate it first.
Pepperoni.
I can't just bring it to you and not have information.
Really? Boy, I don't mind doing that. I'll bring it to you anytime. If somebody says something, then we're going to talk about it. I don't care.
Not like real news, like the Verse News. Those guys over there at the Verse.
Hey, we're real news. We're just not real.
We covered this already, Bo. Seriously.
We're real fast news.
We're real fast news.
We're on the cutting edge.
Okay, folks. I think this is the end of the show. We'll have more exciting craziness next week. Signing off. This is Bobby Baxter for Super Dirt. Signing out.
The Invisible Man.
Mr.
Henry Harrison.
Candy Cassidy.
Val Kilray.
Bo, oh my gosh, I think he just fell off the train.
Very good. Tune in next time for Super Dirt.
All right, dirtbags. If you want to find me online, you can't. I find you. But if you want to submit your tips to us, you can do that at superdirtnews.com, or you can find us on whichever social media platform you prefer tracks you at SuperDirtHQ. This is Val Kilray telling you to open your eyes, sheeple.
This has been a Teapots Away Media production.
Thank you to listening for everything.
Yeah.